What's up, guys? It's Powerbang, and it's time to learn how to hog. Many of you have been requesting this video, a strategy guide on Hog Riders. You've watched us kind of thrash some Town Hall 9 bases, maxed or otherwise, and it's a very, very effective strategy. Most of you have asked, are Hog Riders still viable? Is it an effective strategy? I thought they got nerfed to the point where they're no longer usable. Now, a lot of people thought that when they had that big update a while back and Hog Riders were nerfed because the giant bomb damage to them was buffed to 150% damage to Hog Riders. And they also tethered the heroes to their platforms on the internal parts of the base. So it made it a lot easier to defend against hogs, and it was no longer a drop all of your hogs and, basically collect your automatic 3-star like it used to be. So that being said, there are 5 steps that you need to perform during your scouting process for a Hog Rider attack. And the first step, as you can see, are where are the Teslas and giant bombs likely to be. You need to look at the base, analyze it for empty 2x2 and 2x4 locations. And what you're looking for is where are the Teslas likely to be and where are the giant bombs. Giant bombs are the top thing that can destroy your Hog Rider raid. A double giant bomb set will vaporize any level of hogs. You could have max level hogs, and if you hit a double giant bomb and trigger both of them at the same time, it's going to kill every hog that you have in that area. So it's very important to learn where those are going to be in the base and then attack accordingly. So the second step is checking out where the clan castle is and figuring out how you can lure it. Are you going to be able to lure it with barge troops, like if it's a very off-centered town or off-centered clan castle that you can drop a few troops in range outside the walls and get that emptied for cheap? Or maybe you'll have to walk past the first set of external buildings, and you can typically accomplish that by sending giants if that radius extends past the outer wall. If you have to get inside the walls, you look at hogs or balloons to get into a certain area. A lot of that will depend on if there's archer towers covering the area, or if the air defense is weak there, then you might be in a position to send in balloons. We'll talk about that when we do our scouting. The third step is determining where that archer queen is positioned in the base. Now, this is important because after you lure the clan castle out and get all of it empty, you're going to basically bait them over to the side of the base where the archer queen is at. That way, your kill squad, after you take care of the clan castle troops, can then help in penetration into the base and taking out that archer queen. You want to do as many things as possible with the same groups of troops. That way you can have them do double duty and you're more efficient. So the fourth step is determining how you're going to access the archer queen. Is the archer queen on the outside of the base? Can you drop basically your king only and have him take her out? Is she within one set of walls where you can use a couple wall breakers to break into her compartment and basically meet up with her and kill her that way? Or is she in the core of the base where you might have to take a combination of wall breakers and a jump spell? All of those things are going to be base dependent, and if you need a jump spell, you take a jump spell, because taking out that archer queen is a critical component and it must be done if you're going to be successful with hog raids. And the last step is, while you're doing all of this, what giant bomb threats can you efficiently eliminate before the raid starts? During your clan castle lure and during your archer queen kill, you can often send your golem, if you need a golem to tank. You can often send your golem at an angle where it's going to trip a giant bomb, and that way your hogs don't have to worry about it. When you do your clan castle lure, you can often angle them in a fashion that's going to funnel your troops in a certain part of the base and trip a giant bomb. Or even during your lure, you can send in balloons that maybe destroy defense buildings bordering a double giant bomb, and then cause your hogs no longer to path there during the course of the raid. So those are the 5 steps. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple raids here. All right, so here is a base that we're going to look at. This is an easier hog raid because when we do our first step, which is where are the Teslas and the giant bombs likely to be, something that'll stick out at you right away are the Tesla locations. I mean, 9 times out of 10, actually probably 99 times out of 100, they're going to be in these empty 2x4 locations right here. Now, where does that leave you as far as giant bombs? If you look inside the base, inside the walls, that's where you really want to focus on empty 2x4 or empty 2x2 locations, and that's going to give you a really good idea of where that giant bomb is going to be hiding. Now, the only one inside the base is at this location, which means there's 3 giant bombs that are going to be outside the walls here. Now, if you look at this position, you'll notice that they've kicked out some buildings to make room for an empty 2x2 space. That's going to be a great candidate for a bomb. So is right here, and also over in this area and this area. So that's where we're kind of suspecting, giant bombs. Once we get the hogs into the base, we'll send them in from this area over here. We don't have to worry about the external bombs too much, maybe one of them, but after that, the base has already been destroyed. So the main one we're going to have to focus on is this one here. We'll make sure that we have a heal spell down there during that portion of the raid. So now that we have the Teslas and the giant bomb locations potentially identified, the next thing that we have to do is determine how we're going to lure the clan castle. Now, the clan castle is centralized in this base, and that's very important because if you look at the radius of that clan castle, it's going to be something about like this. Now, what that means is you're going to have to get troops inside that yellow line to be able to pull those troops out. This building, this building, this building, these buildings up here, all of those are going to be on the border of that radius, so you need to get troops inside that. So what I think I do here is send in some hogs to these buildings to try to easily get inside that. Now, once we have everything lured out, what we'll need to do is pull those up, because remember, step 3 is to determine where that archer queen is positioned, and you'll notice that she is on the left side of the base right here. So what that means is that you're going to enter the base somewhere from this side. So to easily get the troops lured out, what I'm going to do is pull them up to the top of the base up in this area here. We'll get our kill done, and what that means is we want to avoid getting trapped by giant bombs that are outside the base. So before we start, we want to drop some barbs up in this area that are going to trip any giant bombs that are up there before we send in our kill squad, because the last thing we want is to lose our wizards and our witches as soon as we release them, because that would be a bummer and our raid's going to end pretty quickly. So we'll trip some giant bombs first. We'll send our kill squad in to take care of the clan castle. Well, now what happens after that clan castle is dealt with, they're killed, you still have your kill squad at this position here. Well, as soon as you know that that clan castle is going to be under control and you're going to get that kill, what we want to do is we want to send a golem in, and our goal is to target this defense right here. And you'll notice there's a wall there, right? Obviously. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we build our funnel, but what the goal is to drop a jump spell like this, and that's going to allow our kill squad and our heroes to get in and kill that queen. You'll notice that the queen will jump this wall, and a good rule of thumb is when you approach the archer queen platform, if there is no space between the wall and the platform, she's going to jump pretty much every time. If there's one space, she's going to jump most of the time. If there's 2 spaces, there's a chance that she could jump, but don't count on it. So as you approach this position, she's going to jump the wall and engage. So all you need to do is make sure that your funnel's created on these buildings here, and then everything will go straight to this jump spell and get in, take that queen out. Now, as soon as the queen is out, you're able to start the hog raid. So last question though was we addressed how we're going to access the queen, and we're going to bring a jump spell here. So that means you're going to have 3 extra spells for the remainder of the raid. And because most of the bombs are external, the only real spell that you need to worry about heal wise is on the only giant bomb spot right here. So as long as you have a heal there, you can pretty much heal, wherever else you need to, when you do this raid. So that's how it's going to roll out. And then the last question is, what giant bomb threats can you efficiently eliminate before the raid? Now, again, we're kind of guessing where these are going to be, but you'll notice I've brought 8 barbarians, and I'm going to use 5 of those, testing some spots to try to trip a giant bomb. And then at the bottom of the base here, you'll notice that there is one spot actually inside this wall here. And so what I'm thinking is, if that's a spot, a giant bomb spot, it's obviously not going to get pathed over during the actual raid where the hogs are, going from defense to defense. It's not going to path to that spot, but during cleanup, you'll notice all these trash buildings down here. It could get hit, so why not? Let's try to eliminate that spot as a possibility before the raid starts. So what I do is send 1 hog right here to cross that that path and then target this mortar. So that's how it's going to roll out. Let's go ahead and look at this this raid in its entirety. It's a very, very basic hog raid. Not a lot of risk to it, but this is kind of an intro to hogging. So first thing you're going to see is some barbarians come down here. Lucky got the giant bomb tripped up top where I'm going to have my kill squad go in, so I felt good about that. Hog at the bottom did not trip a bomb, but it did go across that spot. So now I send in my hogs to the archer tower here, get the lure, and then start sending in my barbarians from the top. And this is the same thing as the 3-step opener. Lure the clan castle, get the queen kill, accomplish any secondary steps. So witches go down, wizards backing them up, and then the archer queen, and you're just going to go ahead and take care of that clan castle. It's about under control, so I drop my golem, get the jump spell down. My troops go ahead and finish up. The Dark Barracks goes down just a little too soon, so the king actually starts to circle, but because the queen is actually heading into that spot, and so are my wizards, that archer queen, the enemy archer queen, is going to go down, and as soon as she's under control, the hogs go in. So the hogs go in, just kind of a wall sent here on the left side of the base. Notice where the heel goes down. We know that there's going to be a giant bomb there, at least we suspect. So right before they get there, we're going to drop a heel. The guess was right, and the hogs will continue to go through the base. Now, we just basically continue to keep them up with heal spells, and that's pretty much all there is to it. We just want to kind of lead them in front of them where they're going to be. We don't want to put it right on top of them. But, try to have them standing in heal cells while they're attacking all the defenses. So, start to fast forward here. Obviously, everything's under control. Tons of hogs left. Try to end the raid over by the king. That way they turn on him and kill him. But you'll notice where we did scout. Boom, there is a bomb there. So, it's kind of obvious when you look around the outside of the base and see those empty 2x2 spots. So try your best to trip those if you can. 1 hog is not going to set you back any if you can't spare that. So do your best to eliminate those risks before the raid. So let's take a look at the next base. All right, here we go. This is a little bit more difficult of a base because there are potential giant bombs inside the base. Not only are there potential giant bombs inside the base, there's double giant bomb possibilities inside this base. So this is a step up in difficulty. So the first thing we want to do is try to identify where the Teslas are going to be inside this base. Now, having seen this design before, pretty comfortable in taking a guess that these spots here will be Teslas, and then somewhere in this little moat right here is going to be the other 2 Teslas. That is what I've seen in other designs, and normally, I would say they're going to be on the outside somewhere, right in this area, and then, again, could be wrong. And it also could, be really anywhere else inside there. But again, the giant bombs, we have a potential location here, here, and then we have several potential locations through here. So, you could have a double giant bomb anywhere in this moat area. But what I want to look at, this is part of step 1, where the Teslas and bombs likely to be. What I want to look at is why this particular moat isn't going to be effective. Now, as you know, hogs target defense buildings. they will move when they path into the base. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Say you attack from the bottom right side. Send them in at this angle, and they attack this cannon. Well, from there, where are they going to go next? What is closest? Well, what's closest are these two buildings. They might, split and attack one of each, depending on where they line up on the first cannon. From there, they'll meet back up on this archer tower, and then to the wizard tower, to the mortar, to this archer tower, and they kind of path around this whole situation. At no point are this expo and this expo closer to these buildings than the next building in line. So what that means is, as your hogs path through this base, they come in like this, at no point are they going to just run across this moat, which could have the giant bombs, a double giant bomb here. At no point are they just going to hop across, because that building is never going to be closer than the one that is right next to it. So they're going to sweep through the entire bottom side of the base, then move up, and when they do move up, it's going to be over one bomb or one side. So that is why we're not really concerned about double giant bombs in this area if we hit from the bottom of the base. And same thing with the top. They're never going to jump over to the other side of the moat. They're going to continue to kind of go like this. That's just something that you're going to see as you continue to scout. So the other potential places in this base are right here, right here. We're going to assume those are giant bombs. We could trip them in advance, or just deal with them with heal spells as the raid goes on. So next step is, how can I lure the clan castle? You'll notice that we need to send in troops that are going to get to that clan castle, get the troops out, and then figure out where we're going to pull them to get the clan castle kill done. And where you pull them is based off of where this queen is at. She's on the right side of the base, so anywhere over in this area here is going to be great for killing that clan castle. So the clan castle troops approach, you drop your kill squad, they go in, and then you're able to bust in and take out that queen. Now there's a couple options that you can use here to access that queen. What you could do is you could use a jump spell, something like that. Actually, let's try this again with no green markings. Jump spell, something like that. That will get you into that queen for sure to kill her. But wouldn't you rather have four heal spells available to use for your hogs? We can get rid of that jump spell, and instead of using the jump spell, what we can do is we can take some wall breakers and we can break in right here. Once this wall is broken, because the queen has no space between her and the wall, she is going to jump this wall to engage your troops as they come in. So that is the proper approach. Break the wall in this scenario, get to the queen, kill her. As soon as that's done, you're able to release your hogs and start the raid. So let's go ahead and give this a watch and see how Trigger goes ahead and executes the raid. So first thing is the lure. He sends some hogs in from the top, and what he's going to be able to do here is ascertain if there are Teslas in that upper compartment, and there are. And not only that, he's tripped both skeleton traps, which is pretty big when you're doing a hog raid, because you can kill those pesky little threats up front. So the witches go down, some distraction troops in front of him, wizards and archer queen backing him up. He uses the minions on bottom to create that funnel, and that funnel is going to make his troops move up instead of circling around the bottom half of this base. So the clan castle troops are under control. You'll see him release a golem. As soon as the golem has the aggro of the archer tower here and the cannon, he's going to drop some wall breakers to open up that compartment, and you'll notice the queen has jumped the wall and she's engaging the kill squad troops. She's already down. What that means is he can send in some hogs. Here they come from the bottom half of the base here. He's taking out that cannon with just a few hogs and then sending the bulk of his force in the bottom half of this base. You'll notice the Tesla has popped, and watch what happens here. None of those hogs path north to those expos, because the closest building is always the next one in the bottom half of the base. Now he takes out the cannon with another group of hogs there to force those up across the core, where he's got a heal spell waiting. He does trip a bomb there. but most of them go to the Tesla and avoid any potential double giant bomb threats. Still has 2 heal spells left, plenty of real estate left to, heal up his hogs. Sets off one of the bombs, standing in heals, everything's completely healed up, and they go avoid that 4th giant bomb completely, and they're into cleanup. So very, very efficient and successful raid, simply following the steps, luring the clan castle, killing the archer queen, and then taking care of any bombs that you can when you start out. So nice raid trigger, and we're going to take a look at just a couple more here. Alright, so here is a very, very high level Town Hall 9 base. This is near max. All the defenses are maxed. It's got mid-level heroes. Both of them are level 15. And it's got core lava walls, which are very, very difficult to get through. So this is a high level base, and it does have multiple locations on the interior of the base where giant bombs could be hiding. Now if we look at this base, we're going to see several locations where we could have potential Teslas or giant bombs. Now when we look at a base, we want to make sure that we consider on both sides of these potential locations, are there defense buildings to drag hogs across them. Now first thing we want to look at is the buildings where there are no defenses on both sides. So like for example, this right here, because there's no defenses on this side of that location, it would be safe to assume that those are not going to be giant bombs in that compartment. I would assume that Teslas will pop up there because there's not anything, say if you sent your hogs in from this direction and they get to this cannon, there's nothing over here. This town hall is not going to cause those hogs to path across that location. They're going to go down and continue to move around the base like this. So that's one thing that you can kind of rule out right away for giant bombs, at least ones that make sense. The same with this one here. It's between 2 storages, which it's not going to be effective. You send your hogs into this building and they path like this. Same thing over here. So those locations, we can basically write off this whole upper half of the base as a no-go. Now these down here, we don't care because they're single giant bombs and we can heal over those. So the main threats that we have to worry about are these guys right here. Those are the double giant bomb locations, potentials, and we got to figure out how we're going to trip those. Now, when we scout this base, we're doing the 5 questions, which are: where are the Teslas and giant bombs likely to be? We just covered that. How can I lure the clan castle? Where's the archer queen positioned? How will I access that archer queen, and what giant bomb threats can you efficiently eliminate before the raid? So looking at step 2, how can I lure the clan castle? Let's go ahead and lure the clan castle and trip some bombs at the same time. So what we can do is send in some Hog Riders from here. We send maybe 4 hogs. That will very effectively take out this building. Where's the next place they're going to path? They're either going to go to this air defense here, or they're going to go down to this expo. Either way, they're going to trip the giant bombs that are likely in this compartment. So we will do that for our lure the whole time they're in range of this building here, getting the troops out. And then what we can do is the third step is, where's the archer queen position? She's right here. That is this right half of the base. So we're going to want to come at the base from this side with our kill squad. And looky here, they've put a builder hut out there for us to anchor to. So 1 archer on that builder hut will easily get those troops out of the clan castle and then over to that builder hut, drop the clan castle troops, or not your clan castle, your kill squad troops. They'll take care of the clan castle, no problem. And then what we're going to do is send in a golem, because we need a golem to tank all of this high level defense. And the golem will be responsible for getting in and along with your kill squad troops, tripping this other giant bomb location, as well as killing the queen. Now she's buried in there, so what we're going to do is take a jump spell. This is step number 4. How are you going to access the queen? Take a jump spell here, drop the golem. The golem will go into the base, tank the queen and all the defenses around it, and then after you create your funnel, like destroying this camp, these buildings here, send in your king and heroes into this area here, take out that queen. As soon as she's gone, we can send in the hogs from the top right here. So let's give this a watch, see how Drew does it, and see if it's close to the scout here. So 4 hogs go down, bottom side of that archer tower. As soon as the archer tower goes down after 3 swings, they hop over the wall here, and look at that. 2 giant bombs go down. Then a giant comes out and a couple hogs behind, and the whole goal here is to get the remainder of the clan castle emptied. You'll notice some troops coming out here. Very important that if you don't get all the lure on your first try, make sure you get it all. Any little troop in there, a wizard, could ruin your raid. So he does get it emptied, anchors to that builder hut out there, drops a few troops to help lure him out there, gets his distractions down, then his witches, his wizards behind that, and Archer Queen backing that up. So he's going to go ahead and mow through this clan castle here. As soon as he's got it under control, he's going to drop his golem. Now that golem's going to go down, and he's going to let it beat on the walls for a second while the buildings shoot at him, and he's going to make his funnel on the bottom here with the wizard, and then on the top with that minion. So he drops his king, didn't quite get that building down in time, a little bit of a mistake there, but that's okay. The queen is locked onto the golem. You'll notice the 3rd giant bomb got tripped there, and then a wizard and the archer queen are going to team up on the enemy archer queen, and she's going to go down. So as that happens, the 4th bomb goes off. The hogs now have 3 heals remaining. They come in from the top. All the Teslas are up there, as you can see. The scout was accurate, and then you know, the hogs are standing in heals the remainder of this raid. He's got 2 heals remaining. All of his hogs are up. He's just basically going to keep his hogs standing in heals the whole time and focus on keeping them at full life. And he's about all the way through the base already. He's on the last third of the base or so, still has a heal left, and he's going to go ahead and place that right here, and then his hogs are going to be full life for the remainder of the raid as they clean up these last 4 or 5 defense buildings. So pretty easy stuff. You know, it's not an easy base, but I mean, he makes it look easy just because he follows the steps. It's really that simple. So hogs are done with that. They turn around, you know, chase this king around, get him taken out. Everything else is in cleanup mode. So excellent raid, Drew. You exemplified how to hog in this one perfectly. So another 3-star, and then we're going to go ahead and check out one more attack where Drew's going to show us how to knock out another one. We'll do a scout on this this last base. This is another very high level Town Hall 9 base, and the funny thing about this one is like he's not hiding where he's putting his giant bombs. He doesn't have a lot of, you know, decoy locations, but at the same time, because of where he's put these archer towers on the outside of the base, these guys here, he's made it difficult to access the giant bomb locations. So if we look at, you know, step 1, where are the bombs and where are the Teslas, I would guess that you're going to see, you know, double giant bomb somewhere in this area here, and then also you've got potential over here and over here. Other than that, there is no potential inside this base or even really outside the base. There's not a whole lot of potential for any giant bomb threats. So we know right off the bat what we have to do, and then what we have to look at is how are we going to get this clan castle lured. So check out, it's a little bit off center, so you'll notice that it's to the right of the base a little bit, and when we actually send in some troops here to lure, what we might be able to do is take out the giant bomb threats as well as get the lure done, and that's going to be using your troops more efficiently. So, you know, step 2 of, you know, the questions that you need to ask yourself while you're doing your raid is how can you lure the clan castle, whether you're going to use barch or giants or hogs or loons. In this particular scenario, because there's only this archer tower on both sides, we could take, you know, a couple balloons, tank the damage, take that archer tower out, follow it up with a Hog Rider that's going to basically target these cannons next and this cannon, and when they jump over the wall here, they're going to trip this you know, giant bomb, and then they will get the lure done. So when we do that, where do we want to take those troops? I mean, where are we going to get our kill done? Well, here's the queen. So what that means is somewhere up in this area is going to be the best place to take out this the clan castle. That way you can double up your kill squad and send them in to take out that queen when they're done taking out the clan castle. So probably coming over from this side here with the kill squad. This building again will be destroyed, so I have some room to work. So that's how I assume this is going to happen. And then how you're going to access the archer queen. I mean, she's sitting in the core behind all this junk here. How is that going to happen? Well, look at the queen's position. You'll notice her in the core here, but notice the wall here. She's right up against it. And remember, when a queen platform is up against the wall, she will jump it in order to come engage the approaching troops. So what we can do is break this wall here with wall breakers, and then basically create a funnel on both sides. We'll create a funnel so that the troops work their way to this spot, head into this compartment, and get the queen kill. So once the queen is dead, you can send in the Hog Riders. All the bombs should, the threats should be dealt with due to the way we do the lure, and then we'll continue to heal throughout the raid. So we've addressed the lure, the queen kill, how we're going to trip giant bombs. So let's give it a watch. So first thing that happens, 2 balloons come in from the left. Notice that he doesn't release the hog until they're almost there ready to destroy it. That way it can get in closer, and it's going to target the next closest building, which happens to be that cannon. Jumps over, trips both skeleton traps, gets the bomb triggered, and then he's going to do the same thing on the other side. Sends in 2 balloons, 2 hogs this time because he's got the clan castle to deal with. It jumps the wall and trips another giant bomb. So both of the double giant bomb locations have been dealt with. Distraction troops go down, witches behind them, wizards and archer queen backing them up. They're going to take care of the clan castle troops and both skeleton traps before this raid even starts. You'll notice the golem is going to go down to tank on the top side of that base. The funnel is being created on the bottom by that wizard, and unfortunately the Tesla could reach the outside portion of the wall, so only one of his wall breakers got through. That's okay though, because he's done a great job on the upper portion of that funnel with the wizards, creating a buffer space so his king and his kill squad troops are going to basically break that wall, right like they're doing right now, and they're going to go in to take care of that queen. So he gets raged up, the queen goes down. Once she's down, it's safe to send in the hogs, so he comes in with a 2-finger drop from the top, standing in heals, and they're just going to basically work their way around this base, going defense to defense, and you know where the giant bombs are going to be because of what he was able to do during the luring process. And he's got a heal down waiting. Catches the giant bomb there, and then look at the right side right now. The golems are working their way over, and right there's a skeleton that trips that 4th giant bomb. So he knows that he's able to drop that heal spell a little bit short there and not cover that last location, and they're standing in heals the entire time here. So excellent job, Drew, with your heal placements. You're breaking into, get that queen. This is a little bit of a tricky base, and you're able to do a lot on your lure to help you eliminate the risk to your hogs during this raid here. Now, a lot of people would look at this base and think, oh, this isn't hoggable. It's got 2 double giant bomb sets. You can't really get to them. But if you start to think outside the box a little bit on how you could get to those things, you can usually do it pretty efficiently, even if those giant bomb sets are in the core. The last thing I want to kind of make a point of, I'm going to go ahead and pause it here as he's working his way in the cleanup. As soon as they run over to the town hall, I'm going to go ahead and give this thing a pause and explain the long and the short side of a giant bomb set here. Now, if we bust out the pen here and we say that there's a giant bomb here and here. Now, let's say that there is a defense building bordering this side of it and bordering this side. Now, what we want to talk about are the angles that you approach that position with. Now, you might not be able to trip this position, hypothetically. If it were inside the base and you couldn't get to it, you could still come at this position from this direction here, and you're going to take out this building, and then the next building you would path to is right here. And what that's going to do is set off both giant bombs at the same time, and your hogs will be completely eliminated. Well, what if you come at, this is, say, the long side of a double giant bomb set. Now, if you come from the short side of a double giant bomb, notice what happens. You target this building here, and as your hogs pile in around, you know, this building, only this bomb is tripped. Now you have a heal spell that you've basically got waiting on your hogs, and they're standing in heals. They get completely healed up. This building goes down, and then your hogs jump over to this other building, and they trigger the second bomb. They heal right back up to full because they're standing in a heal. That's the only thing that I don't have an example for, you know, right this second. I'll do my best to point it out in a future war recap. But coming at the double giant bomb sets from the short side of that double giant bomb rather than the long side, because if you go across this way, both of those go off at the same time, you die. If you come from this way, you set off one at a time. So keep in mind those tricks as you're raiding. It's going to make the difference between, you know, being able to successfully hog a base or not. So hopefully this has been helpful, guys. You know, we're still using hogs very, very effectively. It's one of our, you know, best strategies collectively in the clan. So I really hope that you've learned something from this video. Remember the steps. I mean, when you come at a base, remember, you know, to find out, you know, as best you can where those giant bombs are likely to be. You can do that oftentimes by process of elimination and figuring out where the obvious Tesla locations are, and you know, plan your giant bomb approaches accordingly. Now sometimes you'll be wrong. That's okay. You can clean that up on a cleanup attack. But do your best, you know, to try to, you know, make the assumptions on the first time out and get that 3-star. Secondly, you want to figure out, you know, how you're going to lure the clan castle, and then thirdly, where the archer queen's positioned, and that's where you're going to take that clan castle to. Take her to the queen's side, and then figure out after that kill is done, how are you going to access the queen? Are you going to drop the king on her? Are you going to use wall breakers to access her compartment? Or are you going to use a jump spell to basically get in deep into the base to make sure that that queen goes down? When you're doing all this, you know, step number 5 is to find out what giant bomb threats that you can efficiently eliminate before the raid even starts. So as you're doing your lure and queen kill, during this whole process, you know, find what you can find in order to trip giant bombs or eliminate pathing around them. So those are the steps, guys. Hopefully this has been helpful. This is Powerbang, and I'm checking out.